Welcome into Outkick the Show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope all of you are having fantastic, what's today, Wednesdays? I hope all of you are having fantastic Wednesdays wherever you may be across this great country or this great land. I have got the television on directly to my right. They had announced that they were going to provide render a verdict in this Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. But now they've got a delay. So I'm going to start talking about all the other aspects of stories that are out there. And then if they go live, while I am talking to you guys live, I will break it down for you as it is coming down, the actual verdict in this defamation trial. My prediction, by the way, is that there are going to be relatively minimal damages that are awarded in the event that a defamation claim is found. And I do think that Johnny Depp has likely redeemed himself in some way in terms of being employable as an actor because he has been the more likable star on trial here. But ultimately, what I think the most likely outcome is people will be looking, meaning the jury, at both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and find both of them to be fairly unlikable and fairly untrustworthy individuals. And so my best guess will be that there will be a relatively insubstantial reward to either Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, and that you'll kind of have a pox on both their houses style verdict from the jurors here. And my analysis on this is, if you're in Northern Virginia and you are sitting around for 6 weeks watching this trial, do you find yourself thinking, boy, Johnny Depp seems amazing here, or Amber Heard seems amazing? Or do you think both of these individuals seem like spoiled rich people and that there isn't a lot of sympathy for either? I think it's the latter. So that is my expectation of where we are going to go there. A couple of different things that I want to hit right off the top as we are awaiting potentially the story to come down. Joe Biden, everything he touches turns to crap. Janet Yellen came out and said, hey, my bad on inflation. Can you say my bad when you have 40-year high inflation? Isn't it sort of unacceptable to say, my bad, I did the worst job of any Treasury Secretary in 40 years. I should have seen inflation coming. Modern monetary theory doesn't actually work. Instead, I totally blew it. And we've got 40-year high inflation. And by the way, the inflation would be even worse if Joe Manchin hadn't held the line. That actually protected Joe Biden from even worse ideas. And I continue to say, it feels on some level to me like what we are seeing is the Biden administration tanking for the overall number one draft pick. In fact, as you analyze this, Joe Biden is appealing the April 18th ruling that ended a requirement that passengers wear masks on planes and in airports and on trains and on other forms of federal transportation. And this is just wild to me that we could ever have found ourselves in this situation where masks on planes is being appealed, even though the data overwhelmingly reflects that we haven't seen the surge in COVID cases on airplanes that we were told we would, even though that Joe Biden tried to tell us, hey, we don't have a pandemic. We have a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And then the New York Times comes out on the front page of their newspaper today. They're like, actually, we don't have a pandemic of the unvaccinated anymore. Many people that are dying with COVID, and I continue to say with COVID, have actually gotten multiple COVID shots. Remember in the winter, when Joe Biden said it was going to be a winter of death for those who were unvaccinated, actually the data is reflecting that the COVID shots wear off in a hurry. And as I've been saying for a long time, if you'd gotten the measles shot and you got 4 of them or 5 of them, and then you still got the measles, would you be like, oh man, this measles shot really protects me well, I'm so thankful for it? Or would you be like, dude, how in the world did I just get measles? I already had 5 shots to keep me from getting measles. This is the worst vaccine ever. I think that's probably what you would be saying. But that is where we are. as it pertains to the appeal that has been put in place to try to make you wear masks again inside of airports. I hope that the circuit court is going to reject that appeal and that the hero judge, federal district court judge in Florida, Judge Mizell, I believe, Donald Trump appointed, who ended the mask mandate nationwide on April 18th. You saw all the videos of people celebrating as many airlines were making announcements while people were in the air. I hope, fingers crossed, that we are going to end up in a situation where her district court opinion is validated. And given the fact that mask mandates don't work, which even the New York Times is now admitting, it's an embarrassment that Joe Biden is attempting to argue that those mask mandates should still be in place. Joe Rogan, I've told you for a while, we are in an interesting place and an interesting point in time when it's now the case that Fox News is one of the top defenders of comedians. When I started Outkick back in 2011, 11 years ago, I never would have believed that we would reach the point where you would be talking about Joe Rogan and whether jokes are appropriate or acceptable enough. Dave Chappelle, that you would have all these different comedians that are having to step out and say, yeah, we can make jokes. We like jokes, which is one of the funniest things I saw, the counter protest against the transgender protest. And Ricky Gervais now is under fire for transgender jokes that he made on his Netflix special. And I got to be honest with you, I never would have believed that 11 years into Outkick, one of the foremost defenders of humor on the internet would be Outkick, a site that I started to just have fun talking about college football. And then the world has gone so insane that we have to become some of the foremost defenders of the rights of comedians to actually make jokes. It's wild that we could have ever been here or found ourselves in this situation. Sports news. Deshaun Watson, 23rd woman, has accused him of sexual assault. Now a 24th woman coming forward reportedly and also filing a sexual assault claim. 24 women. Now, to be fair to Deshaun Watson, no criminal charges brought in any of these cases, but it is awfully confusing that the Cleveland Browns would make Deshaun Watson the highest paid player in the history of the NFL. And remember, they still have Baker Mayfield on their roster. And we still don't know when there might be a resolution for Deshaun Watson of all of these claims. A part of me feels as if it's possible that Deshaun Watson is not actually going to be playing again this year. And we may not even have a resolution again this year. In other words, I don't know if the Cleveland Browns can put him out on the field with all of these 24 civil lawsuits still outstanding. And I don't know how the NFL renders some form of verdict until they know how many accusers they actually are and are able to conduct their own form of investigation. This just feels like it's getting messier and messier. And by the way, if you're watching or listening, probably not noticing it as much if you're listening, but I keep looking over to my right because I want to make sure if the Johnny Depp Amber Heard verdict comes down that I pause and react live to whatever we are hearing from that Northern Virginia courtroom as Amber Heard is present right now in the courtroom. Johnny Depp bailed and went overseas, so he is not going to be present for the rendering of the verdict from the jury in that case. Again, Johnny Depp just bailed and went over to London, I believe. Another story that's out there. SEC spring meetings are going on right now. And as a part of those SEC spring meetings, first of all, Jimbo Fisher and Nick Saban didn't get in a fight. But I asked you guys the question that I think is probably the most interesting that is out there right now. And it is, as Texas and Oklahoma come into the SEC in a couple of years, what is going to be the actual outcome here of the new SEC schedule? And I believe they should go to 9 SEC games, play 3 yearly rivals, and then flip it over and have 6 yearly rivals. The next year you play the other 6, so you would end up in a situation where every 4 years you would play everybody in the conference home and home. And so I asked you guys this question. Over 10,000 of you voted. Are you in favor of an 8-game SEC schedule with 1 yearly rival or a 9-game SEC schedule with 3 yearly rivals? 80% of you voted that you are in favor of 9 games and 3 yearly rivals being the standard now going forward of SEC football. And I agree with the 80%. I think you guys got this right overall. I can't believe this story. Leaving outside the world of sports for a minute, the Daily Mail has got up this headline right now. Exclusive. Hunter Biden's search history reveals his obsession with porn and sex fantasies, including 18 years old, lonely widow. I didn't even know lonely widow was a porn category, and MILF crack cocaine porn, which I certainly didn't know was a category. He also uploaded his own amateur porn videos and texted Pornhub links to a phone listed in his contacts as dad. Let me repeat this. The Daily Mail is reporting that Hunter Biden uploaded porn videos of himself and that he sent Pornhub links to his dad. This is a crazy story. In addition to the Ukraine and China millions of dollars, Hunter Biden, crack addict, was uploading porn videos to Pornhub of himself. Can you imagine if Donald Trump Jr. was actually involved in this way in these stories? It's crazy. We got a verdict coming in as I'm talking to you right now. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I'm going to turn on the television here.
I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. End quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that question, the statement was made...
Johnny Depp did prove his defamation claim.
Yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false. Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication
Wow.
about Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication...
Johnny Depp sweeping the table here.
...by Ms. Heard. Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes.
Wow. Johnny Depp.
Two, as to the statement...
Wow. Winning every
entitled A Transformative Moment for Women
every category here of the jury verdict.
in the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition. Quote, then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. End quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing...
Again, the verdict is being written right now. I understand you guys can't necessarily hear it, probably technologically, if we have other verdicts in the future, we can put the audio up. I'm listening to it be rendered right now, and I just sent out a tweet. Now the question is, what sort of damages are going to be awarded to Johnny Depp? Remember, he sued for $50 million. The jury believes that Amber Heard defamed him. And so now the question that they are trying to work through is, what sort of damages, if any, is this jury going to find? Johnny Depp sued for $50 million. Amber Heard countersued for $100 million. Both of them were suing for defamation. So overwhelmingly right now, as this jury verdict is being read, Johnny Depp is being vindicated here. The jury is believing that Amber Heard lied. This is going to be a big story as it pertains to MeToo, because remember, #BelieveAllWomen. Well, this jury is overwhelmingly rejecting Amber Heard's allegations of violence in her relationship with Johnny Depp. And so, again, they're running through all of the different allegations of defamation and their jury findings. The defamation has occurred. Now, the biggest, most significant impact here is, will their Depp proved all elements of defamation? The question is, will there be a substantial verdict awarded in this case to Johnny Depp, or is it going to be de minimis, minimal damages?
As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million.
$10 million.
As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million. In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Ms. Heard's claim against Mr. Depp. 1. As to this statement, appearing in the April
Johnny Depp gets $15 million.
edition of the Daily Mail, quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence
I'm
allegations
tweeting out.
as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence posts, facts, as the sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no.
Amber Heard did not prove her defamation.
Statement appearing in the April 27, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail. Quote, quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt did not.
All right, so again, the jury has found actual malice, clear and convincing evidence of a defamation claim on Johnny Depp's behalf. He asked for $50 million. He's been awarded $10 million in compensatory and $5 million in punitive damages, which is a monstrous award. Now, Amber Heard will definitely appeal this case, but effectively what we have got is a bankruptcy that is occurring here. If Amber Heard, I don't imagine she has $15 million in assets necessarily. This is also, to me, representing the full end of MeToo, because you had a woman, remember, #BelieveAllWomen. Again, I'm reacting live to the verdict as it's coming down. Remember, you had a situation for several years where you were supposed to believe all women no matter what. Women who alleged assault, women who alleged inappropriate behavior by men, they had to be believed. This trial went poorly for Amber Heard, but I'm going to be honest with you. This jury was every bit as convinced as the overall population was that Johnny Depp was not in the wrong here. Remember, they also had a case that took place in England, and Johnny Depp did not prove defamation there, which is surprising because generally speaking, the defamation standards in England are easier to meet than they are in the United States. Actual malice, clear and convincing evidence of a defamation case. Johnny Depp has been awarded $15 million, $10 million compensatory damages, $5 million in punitive damages. again, based on a Washington Post editorial, by and large, that Amber Heard wrote accusing him of sexual assault, even though he was not actually named. Woo! This is a blockbuster case. Again, it will be appealed. It will potentially go on for years still, probably. Could end up as something that future law students will study. But $15 million clear and convincing evidence here that the jury believed Johnny Depp and overwhelmingly rejected Amber Heard. Okay, a couple of more details here as this is continuing to come out. Jury overwhelmingly believes Johnny Depp, as the general public did. This is a disaster for Amber Heard. It will also theoretically return Johnny Depp to his status, maybe even increase his overall status as a superstar in this country. The jury verdict in, Johnny Depp gets $15 million, clear and convincing evidence of defamation that he proved his claim, actual malice from Amber Heard, $15 million, $10 million compensatory, $5 million punitive coming to Johnny Depp, and maybe the effective end of the MeToo movement taking place in a Northern Virginia courtroom where the jury overwhelmingly did not believe Amber Heard's allegations. A couple of other different stories that I want to remind you or update you on. Uvalde, the door didn't shut in Uvalde. Remember the story about the shooting? More details coming out. The teacher initially, they said, propped the door open. In retrospect, it now seems quite clear based on the reports that the door lock did not work. That's how the shooter entered the classroom. Yesterday, some of you may have watched me talk about Little League. I got to write and talk more about Little League. Nearly 1 million people watched my Little League story, 8 minutes long, yesterday on the program, just on Twitter. And some people are like, oh, you're wrong, you're in the wrong, whatever. I don't care if people agree or disagree with me. I'm going to tell you honestly what's going on in my life. 1 million people watch. Maybe we need to be doing more Little League content at Outkick. All of this going on. Again, Johnny Depp, $15 million. There's a popcorn shortage. Also, Nesson is charging $30 a month to stream. But we will talk about all that tomorrow. I appreciate all of you. A lot of people out there want the reaction that is going on. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you hanging out with me for the live verdict. Johnny Depp gets $15 million. This has been Outkick the Show. DBAP, unless you need